How to become a self-made millionaire. So my plan for all of you is to make you a team-made millionaire. So I'm just going to transfer the words right away because no one's self-made. No one does this by themselves. You have a family, number one. You might have a bookkeeper. You might have an accountant. You might have me as your mentor and guide and advocate. But I call it team-made millionaire because it takes a team to do it all and do it in 3 to 5 years because there's a lot to learn. So straight out of the gate, what do I want you to do? I want you to binge watch this channel. I need you to consume so much knowledge if you're serious about this. So today I want to talk about just importance of setting ambitious financial goals. Then I'm going to talk about income and asset investing. Like, how do you get that pattern right? The last thing I'm going to talk about is the team. How do you leverage expert guidance to get this glued together? Because the financial services world, it's so decentralized and so segmented and fragmented. You're standing in the middle, which is why I do what I do for you and help you glue all these experts together and glue these strategies together so you have a cohesive plan. Not insurance here, trust here, real estate here, got all this scattered stuff. You're standing in the middle, and if you're not knowledgeable, are you really confident? You got to go on. Again, when you actually get the book and download the book, make sure you go through the gap analysis. So the gap analysis is where you are and what you want. We have to know what your beginning points are. So if you'd like our team to do the gap with you, then just click on the link in the description below. Set up a gap analysis appointment where our team's going to look at your gaps, what's going on, what are your problems, how we can be the solution. And then when you become a client, you come to me for sequencing, you come back to me for forecasting, which is how do you spend if it's you and 3 companies, a trust, how does it all glue together? And then we just continue to form. What's the plan? What's the plan? What do you want for you and your family? So I know for myself, when I actually got serious, I had a lot of components of becoming a millionaire right. I was out of sequence, which I was doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. So I was out of sequence, which is what I find for 99% of you. You're doing a lot of great stuff. It's really out of order, and your team is not doing the best job they should or could. You're not holding them highly accountable to what they said they're going to do, i.e., they're a tax strategist, reduce your taxes. You got to get knowledgeable so you can lead your team. So the first thing I want you to do is binge right here. I want you to be on this channel. I want you to hear 25 hours of content. You're going to go to all sorts of playlists, living corporate life, becoming a millionaire, trust, how do I make more money? And let's get you serious about what you're doing. By doing your 25 hours, you're going to get a $750 credit toward any tuition that you want to do. Now, how do you become a team-made millionaire? Well, you've got to have really aggressive, and I'm saying financial ambitious goals. Like, most of you aren't ambitious enough. There are so many of you who join, and a goal that's completely made inaccurately all the time is if you have, say, $250,000 salary or $100,000 salary, you say, I'm going to replace it and then I'm going to go. That is not the formula. So again, back to the playlist, how to quit your job in 60, 90 days. I've got videos all over on this channel about that. So make sure you're consuming the content so you really understand. So once you are in and you are a client, we can move faster. So knowledge is number one with big ambitious goals, because I'm usually doubling or tripling them because you come in with such low goals. I want to make my first 6 figures. Great. Can we do that quickly, like less than a year? Because your first 6 figures is the hardest money you're ever going to make because you don't know how to be an entrepreneur. Once you know how to do that, then we can go 100,000 to 1 million. But that first 100 is going to be what's going to be the setup for this team-made millionaire. After you set very ambitious goals, and we go back through that, which means you got to read The Millionaire Maker. So I'm giving you a big gift down in the description. I'm going to give you my ebook copy for The Millionaire Maker, as well as 2 tickets to my Millionaire Intensive, which teaches you how to even get into this strategy and how to get into this game. And I want you to consume that content as well as being here on the YouTube channel, because then I'm going to start moving you to some pattern interrupt, which is your focus needs to be on making more and new money. Even if you have a big job, you can have that big job forever, but it's a fixed income at a high level, but it's still fixed. And you don't have the strategies of corporate structure and tax strategies, which means get back a lot of that. We get back a lot of our high income earners that are also trying a side hustle as being an entrepreneur. We can get them great 3-year tax return reviews. But you've got to be thinking, what is it that I want to do? Do I want to run a property management company? Do I want to run storage units? Do I want to buy a business? Do I want to buy a franchise? I just want to start something from scratch and write your first book and actually do something like that. So you got to decide, how are you going to make new money? And then our course of time for the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years will be how are you going to invest it? Because as the markets change, as the political climates change, as laws change, you've got to keep moving your assets and not just park and pray with the financial firm. So if you're those people out there and you're a high income earner and you park with a financial firm and that's all you do, it's a long walk backwards. And I'm going to say backwards because I guess it would be forwards in the way I think about it. But for a lot of you, you're thinking it's backwards because I'm going to have you start a company, start some investing strategies, put it in a trust, fund it with a lot of proper life insurance, not death insurance, and start taking your families on business trips, not vacations. So we're going to do this huge habitual shift from making and spending money to making and investing money. And it's pivotal that you make those shifts. A lot of you've got to spend some time, especially if you're high income earners and you've never been an entrepreneur. Becoming an entrepreneur is critical in the formula of a 3 to 5 year millionaire. So some folks who don't want to do it that quick and they don't want to have a huge extra side hustle or really build a business, they want to keep their employment, which is fine, then think a little more like 5 to 7 years potentially. It depends on the new money made. So you've got to put more money in the cycle, which is why entrepreneurialism is great because there's no cap. You can go and do as many sales, you can help as many people, you can solve as many problems as you want and make more money. That money then highly strategically planned in what I call a forecast. So you're not overpaying taxes and you're using all those deductions is brilliant. And then the big trifecta that makes you a fast millionaire is how you invest your money. Not just using the publicly traded markets and just sticking your money with a financial planner and parking and praying, I call it. There's a software that we use when we're in the stock market. It's called iFlip. It's AI driven. We take you off of Wall Street into Main Street. So you're in more control of what's going on. No fees, no commissions. It's completely a different strategy. And then the obvious, you're going to look at cryptos. You're going to look at real estate. You're going to look at types of real estate, storage units, RV parks. I have people that are buying food trucks. I have people who are buying a franchise of a vending business. Like, what is it that you want to build? Because if you're serious about being a quick millionaire, the way you make and invest money and keep your taxes low is critical. So I can say it over and over and over, but we have to do the work together. And going forward, then you're going to meet with your team. So before I talk about team and leveraging those experts, I want you to subscribe to my channel. I want you here 5 days a week. Click that notification button. And seriously, if you want to be self-made, team-made is what I call you, then you got to consume content. So be deep in our content. 5 days a week. Share this with your family. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it with your family. So some of your family might be resistant. So the easiest thing we've seen is get everyone watching the channel and talking about what you're learning every day. So if 1 or 2 members are resistant, it's usually because they lack the most knowledge and they're the most scared. And why a lot of people don't become millionaires is you don't think it's possible. Being a millionaire is not, in this day and era, that big a deal. But you have to know what to do, which is make new money, make sure it's strategically planned, and how you invest. So what I've assembled is a team of experts. So how do you use them? You become a client. I sequence you. We walk you through how to use this company. How do you do your new behaviors? At any time, you'll have my cell phone. You'll text me. For now, you're going to go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL, and ask questions, make a request. At minimum, I'm leaving you with this as a self-made millionaire. You need better teams. You need better systems. And I can tell you the team you're using for bookkeeping, accounting, probably even marketing is not working. So if you have problems making new money, call our office. Let us help you. We know how to help you make new money, like within a couple hours. It's not difficult. It's just different. Talk tomorrow.